people of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sours, and we're jumping into a traditional best of 3 Strixhaven Draft on MTG Arena. Chat, say hello to YouTube. I'm doing the YouTube draft first thing when I start the stream, so we do not have the huge viewership we normally do. But the cool kids are already here. I think we're taking Hall of Oracles here. I'm trying to think what this pack would put people in. And it looks like basically not red things, but other than that, not much. Because there's going to be good cards for just about whoever gets it. You certainly are, Neff. But Hall of Oracles is a pretty easy first pickable rare. It can sort of facilitate a splash and is obviously just incredibly powerful. So let's party. Now we've got a lot of decisions to make, don't we? We've got premium adjacent removal spells in 3 colors with Bury Books, Mage Duel, and Lash of Malice. And we've got 2 great uncommons. I think I like the Quandrix Cultivator better. I also like having removal spells more often. Thank you, Wallet. It will be exciting to see my family again. I'm frustrated that I still don't feel 100% health-wise, but I'm going to set some doctor appointments when we get back and get to the bottom of whatever has been plaguing me. I'm thinking Barry, but like I could respect either of these. This is a really tough pick. I think I will end up going Duel. It should synergize with Hall, because we'd want to play like creatures in a deck like this. Although this pack is like also tough. There's Bookworm. I do like a Bookworm. There's also a Rise of Exodus. I do like a Rise of Exodus. I also like Eye Twitch, but I would not take it over either of these two. That is a cool thing you can do, which I dig. Iggy. I think I like the Bookworm. This gives us an excuse to like really start going Quandrix. Yeah, okay. So every spell we cast gets us a land drop and a +1/+1 counter. Another Bury Books there makes me feel pretty comfortable moving into this color pair. And there's a Field Trip. I think you could probably play Ecological Appreciation. This is not as good as I thought it would be, although it still sort of does something. But I think 5th pick Field Trip after we've selected a Bookworm makes me happy. This pack, significantly less happy. Like a lot less happy. We could take a Tangle Trap for the size board. I suppose there's a possibility we go green-black. So the Spectre's not crazy. I don't think the Bookworm is at its best in green-black, but it's certainly still playable. Yeah, we can take that and keep our options open. This is one of the YouTube drafts. These are kind of replaceable drops for these color pairs. I don't think I'd splash a Quandrix Apprentice. I kind of want to take one of the lands, but I'm not sure which one. Yes, we're taking a campus here. Which campus? That is the question. I think I'll go with my hopes and dreams, and that I hope we can go blue-green, but we may not be able to go blue-green. I think I like the first Go Blank over the second Spectre, but I would play 2 Spectres in a heartbeat. Size-boarded Tangle Trap it is. It seemed like blue was more open this direction, but there's a lot of stuff coming back by to challenge that. Because right now the only blue card we actually have is the Quandrix Apprentice. We saw a lot of blue, but via not taking it, we'd probably have to lean on picking it up in pack 3. So I think we may just be going black-green, unless something better presents itself. Yeah, but like you don't need that many campuses, Iggy. I kind of like Village Rites in some green-black decks. And I like Unwilling Ingredient in some green-black decks. Like, I kind of want 2 campuses in my deck. And if I get 3, that's okay. This is playable too. So we've kind of established ourselves in green with a field trip, a mage duel, and a bookworm. And then the other color's a little bit up for grabs. Fortunately, we don't have to make that decision here because we got a Dragon's Guard Elite, which is neat. We want to guard our dragons. Shame to have it in the same pack as a regrowth, but I'll live. I wouldn't mind getting a lesson at some point either. Decision time, eh? Because we've got the Onslaught, which I think we would happily play, and then this just pack of Quandrix goodies. Also a Fractal Summoning, which I gotta say I'm interested in. I think, again, my preference would be for us to be playing Quandrix if I can, so I'm gonna hope that we're able to do this, but we will see. Conspiracy Theorist is quite good. We had a good run with that yesterday. I think I'm on the Elemental Summoning here, although I'm interested in Eureka Moments. Having a field trip and getting to go field trip into Elemental Summoning is pretty nice. Aether Helix is also quite good. This is better than people think it is, but it can be better than people think it is and still not be very good. I like Negate. I'm not entirely sure how open the blue is. Well, the theory was that we were going to get the blue the next way around, weren't we? So if that's the case, we go here. What? Okay, so we're going to do something with this. I'm not entirely sure how yet, but we are now Teamer. Because that shouldn't be their 5th pick. It does need a very specific deck, and we're not anywhere close to that specific deck, sadly. Okay, I can play a Frost Trickster. I've seen Cauldron do some good work, so I'm not dismissing the card as like unplayable or bad or anything. It's a good card, but I do think it needs a specific deck, and we're not actively close to that specific deck. I don't know how I'm going to splash this yet, but I really want to. I'm probably not going to be able to. I'd really like to. Good morning, Orcish. So if there's a Maze and Fixin in the last pack, maybe we can talk about this. Otherwise, it's just, man, I wish I could have played it. I mean, to an extent, we could almost be red-green. Although I'd imagine something like that would want a bunch of biographs and claim the firstborns or some nonsense. What campuses that we'd taken earlier would have enabled a splash here, Iggy? I think we'd have one extra Quandrix campus, perhaps. That's a nice find. What are we getting back with a Biblioplex Assistant? We've got some options. This guy kind of sucks, but I may just have to feel the curve with it. Hello. Happy holidays. Oh, because British people call vacations holiday. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Yeah, but realistically, I'm not going to splash this off of like 4 mountains, Iggy. I suppose that's the difference. So Pop Quiz gives us a little bit of card draw, which we already have, but it would be nice. I don't think we want the Titan for this deck. Quandrix Pledge Mage can be scary. Vortex Runner can actually be pretty good in a deck like this, but I don't think I want to pick it this early. And there's nothing here that would realistically enable the Cackle Splash. For this to happen realistically, we'd need to get past like a Cultivate, and I don't think we're going to. I'm going to grab the Pledge Mage. I'm not thrilled about first picking this, but I think it's what the deck needs. That and a couple more spells and we're in business. It's a good Witherbloom pack here. I'm just going to take the Symmetrist for us. It's not exactly a Pledge Mage deck, but by the time we get to the end of this pack, I'm hoping that the Pledge Mage will be decent. Like, I don't think we're going to, like, super abuse it, but I think we can turn it into a 4-4 or 5-5, which is about all I want. This is a tough choice between Emergent Sequence and Divide by Zero, because Emergent Sequence would give us some pip towards being able to splash a Cackle with power, and would generally be good in the deck anyway. Whereas Divide by Zero is just, like, super solid, but I think I want to try this Emergent Sequence. I'm generally pretty happy with that card, too. I mean, 2 of them seems great. Now, all of a sudden, we are looking a little more like a Quandrix Pledge Mage deck. And I could use, like, one more big thing to do with mana. So, a Fractal Summoning would certainly be welcome. This Cackle's just not happening. Like, let's be an adult. So right now, it's kind of like we can play a Bookworm, but if we ramp all this mana out and don't draw the Bookworm, we're pretty sad. Kind of a one-trick pony. That is a 3rd Emergent Sequence, but I think our sequences have already emerged. I don't know that we need to do any more emerging. Environmental Sciences could again, like, tempt us here. Problem is, I need a bunch of playables, and we're just not there. I have to take the Professor here. Because, like, remember, these lands don't count, and this is going in the sideboard. I don't have enough playables. We could run Test of Talents. I could realistically splash the Dust Speaker. I would like an introduction to Annihilation. Well, it's worth trying, Nif, but we have 1 learn card currently, and it's a field trip. So I can't really... That means we're rarely even going to see whatever it is that our lesson is. This deck is just not built on that. A Dust Speaker I kind of dig because it could give us a little bit more card draw, but I'm not thrilled about this. I may have to. Okay, never mind. We got our card draw here. Another duel certainly welcome, but I think I want the Vortex Runner. This gives me something else to do if we hit too many lands, like a realistic end-game plan. That could again allow for the splash, but you can see the problem when I move these out. We're probably playing a Befuddler, a Servan, and, like, I don't know, a Tangle Trap main. So I think I just need to take a playable here, which could be either of these two. I think I'll flex with the Mathematician. It's at least a decent blocker. This is a little bit heavier 2-drop focused than what I'm used to. Yeah, we're still going to play these lands, obviously. They just don't count as spells for the deck. I mean, maybe I wheel one of the other campuses and we decide we do want to try Cackle with power. I could realistically bring it in at this point. This deck could totally play Mentor's Guidance. Well... This deck could barely play Mentor's Guidance. But we got there on playables. It wasn't pretty. I think if I could go back and take those Burying Books, we might have something going. But kind of our win conditions are, we've got a Dragon's Guard Elite and a backup Dragon's Guard Elite. And then we've got a Bookworm. And the rest of the deck is kind of built towards, let's see if we can find them. Which I can dig. Here, we'll just rep Quandrix. I don't think I want to splash main, but it would be interesting to bring in that Cackle in some circumstances. Does this give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green, and then we'd have room for 7, 8 blue? Sounds good to me here. I really like this Kaldheim island. I think it's pretty. All right, let's see if we got anything. But yeah, I'm going to go on vacation after a short stream today. We'll be leaving tomorrow and returning on Tuesday very late. So I'm expecting a short stream today and then a short stream next Wednesday. And by short, I mean like maybe 4 hours tops. I wanted to mow the lawn before I left. Okay. And my stomach is still not 100%, but that's hopefully going to be sorted with some doctor's appointments in the near future. Not looking like we're going to cast a spell next turn because we don't have one. So if they're going to like block something potentially, I'd rather it be this. Like I don't mind trading off the Squirrelwood Colony, but I'd rather keep the Dragon's Guard Elite going for as a future. You know what I mean? This player was in our pod. I recognize the name. Interesting. They want to fight. Pick one, I don't care. I guess figure if it has haste, you're supposed to attack with it, you know? I can respect that. That makes some sense. That is an incredibly powerful magic card that will not be attacking for the foreseeable future. Kind of don't mind if they kill something, because then we can bounce stuff. Now they're starting to change their mind a little bit, which I can appreciate. So I could Eureka Moment here, or I could swing team. I don't think I'd want to swing team. I think I'd want to swing with the Dragon's Guard Elite and the Cultivator. Because then I could Eureka Moment combat if they don't double block the Elite. I really don't want to let them get like an enthusiastic study off on this. That would be quite bad. Swinging team does what? They would block maybe these two and then take 4. That's not enough. So I think I'm down with this. Okay, if they're going to double block, I almost just want to trade here and then potentially Aether Helix. It also means we're getting in damage, which I super dig. Because if this isn't here to block next turn, well, I would have to chump it. That's awkward. I don't want to chump it. Hey, what's up, Michael? Sorry, trying to figure this one out. I guess where we've ended up, I would actually want to play the Professor, chump block it with a token, hope they don't have Enthusiastic Study, and then Eureka Moment for the kill next turn. Yeah, streaming a little late today. Wanted to get some housework done prior to vacationing. Yeah, so if that's not there, do they have good blocks? They would block here, here, and here, and take 3. Which seems great to me. I like that block. That block seems great. I would encourage them to take that block every single time. All right, so we are up against Prismari with the usual suspects, but not a lot of removal so far. That Flame Painter is particularly scary, and we had a really good answer to it with just being able to tempo it out, but the card is terrifying. Tangle Trap looks like it will probably get some value for us, so we could cut a medium playable for at least one copy. Frankly, I'm considering two, right? Because we've seen 4 flyers in their deck. I think this is just going to be a Terminate. I think I like that. What's not going to be good here? Biomathematician isn't really good anywhere. It's just sort of there. And if we're not doing the splash, I may not need both emergent sequences. Negate should still get us some value. Mage Duel should get us some value. Yeah, I think I can deal without one of these, especially on the draw. Like, I'll be a card ahead anyway. I guess ramping is even more important there, but it's not like I'm cutting all the ramp. We've still got Eureka Moment, potentially Zimone, given the right circumstances, Emergent Sequence, Cultivator. Deck's pretty rampy to begin with. Sorry, just noticed the Stream Raiders was about to fire. If this was green, I think we run the numbers. I guess we still run the numbers. There's 9 green sources, but I don't think it's good enough. That's 33, 9, 2, 1. God, it's right at 50%, isn't it? Which is about what we get by shaving 10% off our win percentage. I mean, this is no thought if we're on the play. We're not on the play. We've got 2 turns to look, but I still think I send it back. I'm a scaredy cat. I'm a straight up scaredy cat. It's close. It's really close. What's up, unnamed? We can start holding up negate / loot on future turns, because like looting away the bookworm and then getting it back later when we want it seems pretty good. I mean, sure, I've won on a mold of 5. I've wanted a mold of 4 at a team GP. It can happen, but consistently mulliganing is punishing. Like, I don't think the exception necessarily proves the rule there, you know what I mean? Don't quite want a Biblioplex assistant right now. But I feel like I need to put it in play. The question is like, do I want the Tangle Trap back? I'm not really sure that I do. I also kind of like keeping up negate. So I'm going to slow play this for a turn. I may end up discarding the Biblioplex assistant. 4 cards? I don't think you need 4 cards. Which means I kind of wish I'd attacked with this, but whatever. And now I could kind of see the Biblioplex assistant doing some work. Okay. I'm going. I don't really want to draw this right now. I'd rather, I mean, frankly, I'd rather draw lands. Overpriced spellbook store. You have to stand in line and put a few things back. I'm going to need to deal with that fractal, and tapping it down for a turn seems like a good option. And they know I have this. So I kind of feel like just blasting that and hitting for 1. It's not exciting, but... Biblioplex sounds a little pretentious. I'm with you. Oh, it's Ray! I didn't recognize the name yet. What's up, dude? Well, is a biblioplex like a library or a bookstore? I'm not sure. There's fractal summoning. We anticipated this. All right, so we're not quite at bookworm mana, but we could be. I'm going to need something to deal with that. And it's probably not going to be that forest. It could be a burr. Library. Could be a library. All right. So now we have a plan. Sort of. Mostly. It's mostly that we're all going to die down here. I want to threaten the double block, but I'm obvious. Well, now we're not, certainly not going to double block. But I can get this here bookworm pretty quick now. It says a blibber. Minion, what are your thoughts on Mike Tyson's Mysteries? Because I believe as a connoisseur of fine television programs, you probably have some. Vortex Runner, huh? Does Professor Bear do anything? That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Professor Bear, in theory, stops that. Let's see what's under Professor Bear. Because my bounce spell would be mighty nice too. But I do not need this Tangle Trap. Let's see if we can hang on here with Professor Bear and friends. I could also plan on... Yeah, I think I'm going to plan on just chumping it. Because we have to race now. I think it's a decent enough Quandrix deck. I wouldn't say it's perfect. Jump under the bus, little bug. Okay, fair enough. I just know your reference game is typically on point. New! 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 I'm probably dead now. Don't much care for that. Interesting sequencing. Ah, Changed your mind a little bit now, did you? I mean, there's still some possibilities, is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not opposed to a mage duel. I want both of them now, though. Can't have both of them. This is a risky play to try to get back in this game. But I don't think they have a removal spell for my Frost Trickster, or it wouldn't be here attacking them for 3. And the good news is we don't really have to worry about a removal spell next turn, because they'd just kill us with it. I tried Selesnya on a simulator. It seemed easy to mount, just a few compromises. Have you ever tried on Strix that archetype? Yes, we had a, it wasn't straight Selesnya. It's pretty close, though. Guess I'm blocking. I think it was Selesnya splashing for Lorehold command. It's not actually very good, and I would not encourage you to do it. Huh! Pause. We are 1-1 currently, Drake. I thought we were getting there too. The counterspell on the Bookworm really hurt. It quite hurt. I'm still reeling a bit from it. They've got some good cards. They've got some great cards, really. I can't believe they countered my Bookworm. I guess I telegraphed it so bloody hard. Sort of see trying to get the Dust Speaker in here. Does it have attacks on the ground? I mean, their ground force is fractals. Meh. Meh. I don't like our odds. I wanted the fractals. I'm trying to decide if I want to splash Cackle with power as a Hail Mary. And I think I might, but we're going on the play. That was a mulligan. We were card down. The channel Fireball logo is placed prominently to cover up my opponent's name because I signed up to have my play critiqued, but none of my opponents did. We do have one guide, which would get us one red source, which is one less than we need to do the thing with the stuff. You were on the draw, though, so was even on draw. Huh? You talking about the mulligan? No, I should have had one more card than them. I'm not supposed to be even. I'm supposed to have one more card to account for the tempo loss. Zero card advantage, not +1. Dude, that's not how that works. You are down a card because you have one less. That's bad. I hadn't heard that before, Auntie, but I like it. Fondrix is Magic the Gardening. Interesting that they didn't want to trade that. I know of the streamer named Ham. I think his name is Kyle. I have not consumed his content, but he was in one of the sweatsuit invitationals and seemed like a good dude. I know he's kind of into best of one drafting. But what was your conclusion? That's not a belief. There's data to back that up. He's right. He probably also believes that the players in best of one at the top are probably better than your average player here, and he's right about that too. No one prefers moto drafting. Not having to worry about this for a turn means we can make some attacks here. Do I want to just ploop this and swing team? What's that look like? Because like we're kind of out of gas at this point. We need to close this quickly. At that point, they probably trade this here and then take 7, 8, 9, 10. That seems pretty good to me. Like, that's kind of a best case scenario for the Frost Trickster. Because they're going to need a hell of a recovery here. I thought he was the dude that was like hitting Mythic, but I may be getting some of the other streamers' names confused. There was somebody that was like forcing Silver Quill and winning all the time. If you fire a best of one draft, there's a significant portion of the people in your pod drafting are novices. This on average gives you a more powerful deck in best of one or train wrecks you. That means that it doesn't do anything on average, right? But I see what you're saying. I like Arena. I suppose that's the big difference. I really like Arena. I just don't like best of one that much. All right, let's do the thing. We need to keep these dudes alive. I guess our best option is here so we can get the buff from the shroom because we're probably losing that one. I'm going to go potty real quick and then I'll come back and we'll do the next round. We have 69 viewers. BRB. All right, Adam with the kills as 1C, 1A with the assists. Rewards for Orcish Artillery, Guifor, and Cosme the Dragon. Yeah, I don't really know him that well other than chatting with him some prior to one of the Sweatsuit Invitationals. He seemed like a great guy, and from what I can tell, has a good stream. Like, a lot of my people say good things about him. So I suspect he's a respectable dude. I just don't watch a lot of Magic content these days. I used to. Like, that used to be my jam. On the days MJ was streaming, I'd watch MJ, I'd watch Kenji, I'd watch LSV. I would fall asleep watching Cedric Phillips play Tron. I loved Caleb Durwood's draft videos. I usually liked watching Modern or Draft. But these days, like after I've played Magic for 9 or 10, let's be realistic, between 7 and 9 hours a day, I don't really want to like curl up and watch a Magic stream. I like watching streams for video games that I enjoy but am terrible at, which is mostly shooter games or Hearthstone Battlegrounds currently. I've been playing some. And there's some streamers I just like. Like, I'm probably going to watch Choco Taco play whatever he's doing because I like Choco Taco. I don't think we're likely to cast a spell next turn, but if I top decked our card draw, I would want to have this gal in play. What's up, Rob? Stream the WoW content. I've tried that in the past, Minion. It wasn't terribly well received. And I also have a G-rated chat here, which doesn't particularly fly with some of our guild's perspectives on things. If you know what I'm saying. It seems like a really good turn to have negate up. So I'm going to have negate up. Like, I'm going to let them get in and attack with their big thing and cast their big spell, and then I'm going to counter it. Skullinate, thank you for the resub. Much appreciated. I did stream it way back in the day. And I put up the mature content warning, and people were okay with it. You thought you were going to cast that on the cheap, but you weren't. And that's about all I can do. Yeah, buddy. Let's cast Simone first. And Zen's a Symmetrist. And Zen Vipass. Well, the biggest difference from my estimation, Andy, and we can talk about this some. I want to talk about it more, and I want to talk about streaming WoW more, but I can't really think. And plays a video game. I suppose there's no reason not to play this out. I could start attacking with it. It's just, it's not a particularly impactful card right now. But to Minion's point, I'll address that first. When I have tried streaming other games, I have discovered something. And it's that I have a magical power. I can turn about 200 viewers into 50 viewers. Like that. Just by switching to literally anything else. Which is like, I mean, not a big deal. There's some stuff I've certainly streamed just because I enjoyed it and it was fun. Like, I have streamed Stream Raiders Battlegrounds. I will continue to stream Stream Raiders Battlegrounds. It's just fun. All right, we can start drawing multiple Cardos. Doesn't matter what I get, does it? Now. So I think I'm happy streaming Magic and streaming what I want now and then, and having the WoW time as being my chill time. I don't need to be on. I can just hang out with my friends and have a good time. And then to Andy's point, does the power level seem flatter? A little bit, yeah. I would say so. They're looking to cast something incredibly large. Do they have a cackle with power? Because they just spent 2 cards to make 2 treasures. That's not good. Oh, they had a snore hold. Oop. They do now. They do now. I mean, I remember somebody in one of the YouTube comments on one of the early Strixhaven drafts that said, I was complaining about people being bad at draft and best of one and it leading to me having worse decks. And somebody made the comment of, ha ha ha, you think other people being bad is making your deck worse, ha 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 ha. And I was like, how do I respond to that? Because yes, that's exactly what's happening. And it's not that only bad players play best of one. I should probably clear that up because we're doing a YouTube draft again, and that same person will probably come back and make the same comment. But here's the point: there's matchmaking for the gameplay in best of one. So if I go do a best of one draft, I'm only going to be playing against the best of best once I've hit Mythic. But there's no matchmaking for the draft. So I can jump in a best of one draft and have Ben Stark on one side of me, and next to Ben is Susie, who's playing her first draft ever, and next to her is Billy, who likes green cards, and then there's Sam Black, and then there's Rachel, who's pretty good at draft. She's won a couple F&Ms. Like, it's not the same grouping of people that are doing it, right? We probably want the 5 damage to Flyers spell again, because they had 2 that I'd like to kill. And I wasn't that excited with Biomathematician or the second emergent sequence anyway. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. May I introduce you to Trisha, the world's saddest Dragon's Guard elite, who was taken down by a literal campus Scot? No. Okay, I thought Trisha was going to be taken down by a campus squeed, but that was not the case. Don't be Billy. Last thing you want to do is be Billy. There are bad drafters in your pod. The likelihood there are bad drafters in the other pod should add a little bit of variance, but keep the EV the same. It should, but again, it matters on the position, right? Like, I ran a draft in a Sweatsuit Invitational where Sam Black was doing 5-color nonsense, and because of that, I couldn't get a signal. Now, if he's to my left, I don't care, but he was to my right, which meant he was just taking every rare and uncommon that he saw, and I couldn't actually figure out what was open. So it depends not only how many, and I say bad players, bad isn't the right word, novice players. It depends not only how many novice players are in your pod, but where they're sitting, right? Because if I've got 2 novice players to my right, that could be incredibly bad or incredibly good for me, depending on where they are, right? Like if it's Billy who's just like, I like green cards, he's going to pass me great rares. That's cool. But it might also be Susie who's like, oh, cool, I opened a neat rare. I'll just take all the rares. Let's see what happens. Unconventional, unexperienced. Not that Sam Black is unexperienced, or that was an unconventional draft he was going for, but like it certainly did train wreck me because I was trying to draft open and figure out what I could do, and I couldn't get anything because there were just 2 packs of no rares getting passed. Which is why Sealed is a better format than Draft, in case you were wondering. It is a more true judge of skill, and more fun. I really wanted to hit a land there, and then I didn't. And it makes me kind of sad. Because I do think I need the blocks. I realize I could have emergent sequenced, but that first we stopped the beatings. Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice. I think we start here because I don't want that muse around. Actually, that is my answer for home slice. I don't need them to top deck a home slice and kill me. Two for one them with the Tangle Trap? How would I do that? They're not playing combat tricks in this deck. Well, actually, that's not fair. We do know they have the +1 or the +2/+0 first strike. We could try to do that, but mostly this says ignore target lore hold. Do not need you. Do need you. Very excited to see you. Good day. It's going to look a little bit fishy, but I'm okay not being cold to lore hold. Well, you can talk through it in plenty of different ways, but generally speaking, there's like a consensus that like people playing the format will eventually come to, and that started with Frost Trickster is amazing and you should first pick it, and we've now moved to Frost Trickster's pretty good in Quandrix, and if you get one late in pack 1, that's pretty cool. And we went from environmental sciences as a useful tool to have. You should probably grab one of these on the wheel to packs where people are like, hey, you should probably first pick environmental sciences. And those things will change over time when you draft, right? So if I'm in the mindset of I know that, but all of my opponents think that Frost Trickster is amazing, I may think that blue isn't open because I'm not seeing late Frost Tricksters, but it actually is. Spectacle mages do stack, although they sadly don't have glasses, which really seems like a fail on the art department, if you ask me. It's like, how hard would it have been to put a pair of spectacles on the spectacle mage? I believe it was Major Band Geek that initially brought that up, and he was correct. That's just a loss. What about sunglasses of Urza? They could have put some aviators on them, dude. Not, but all owls have great vision? Well, I guess technically it'd be a bespectacled spectacle mage, which is kind of its own thing, right? If I'm patient, I could still have up the Herpaderp to kill Lorehold. But I don't really want to be patient. I want to kill them with this. Because there's still a land off of casting it, so they need for Lorehold to be their last card and then to draw a land. I'm not convinced that's what they're working with. Monocle Mage? I'm just saying, some glasses would have been nice. There's not that many characters that wear glasses, so I appreciate that Zimone does. I don't kind of dig the... There's a bit of a trope that wearing glasses makes you smart, right? Like, smart people wear glasses. I mean, you kind of know where that comes from, right? The people that can afford glasses can also afford educations. So maybe what we should do is try to help everybody be able to afford things that help their vision or help their health. Okay, I think we're probably pretty well protected against a home slice now. So they're probably going to want to like bury in books my dude, which is, I mean, acceptable. Or we just wait long enough and talk about glasses and they're going to die. The gentleman's single-use monocle. Where do you find stuff like this, Andy? Major Band Geek, what's up, my dude?
You know, 18 is a lucky number in Judaism because means life, and I can't wait for 18 more years of my life in the greatest MTG community out there. 3.
Thank you very much, Band Geek. Y'all spam some cats for Band Geek. We were just talking about you and your critique of Spectacle Mage. And it's valid. Incredibly valid. Emergent, emergent. What was this critique? Spectacle Mage is not wearing spectacles. Figure it out. Sure, be green. No, I want to use one of each here. Because we may just decide we want to punch this fella. Yeah, I think where we're going right now, I kind of want to punch that fella. Because we're going to need to top deck card draw or action, and a pair of 2/2s attacking may be all I got. Yeah, I picked the British voice for the text-to-speech thing because I thought it sounded fancy, and the Finnish one couldn't handle the English words really well. The German one sounded funny. Hey, here's something to do with all our manas. Go get him. Boop, boop. Detergent, detergent. We want to draw another mage duel. I mean, probably, but let's see what happens here. Nothing, eh? I may just beat him to death with these lands. Yeah, we had one of those earlier, and it was quite nice. I think that was about a week and a half ago. Not... not just, look at me. I am the beatdown now. Sure looks like it. Biblio Loot Mage Duel? No. Turn them sideways. They need a Lash of Malice not to be just straight up dead on the spot. Like, we've got the Biblio Loot Mage Duel, but we don't need that to kill them. That's the backup plan. I think they had a Professor's Warning in hand. Because it was pausing and giving them priority. But they don't have a Lash of Malice. If they did, they just top-decked it. And we know they top-decked the Tenured Inkcaster because they could have cast it last turn, but they didn't. And if they'd had a Lash of Malice, they wouldn't have taken 14 points of damage from 2/2s. Boop. Boop. Silver Quill has flyers. I'm going to believe that they'll have some flyers. Also, I don't really need 2 emergent sequences. Maybe we just want the Biomathematician to block crap. It could have been removals, like 4-cost removal spells. I could believe they had a Mage Hunter's Onslaught, but didn't want to use it on 2/2s. I mean, it could have also been red cards. You never know what people are up to, eh? Detergent, detergent. Leech Fanatic, eh? Well, you got one job, Dragon Guard Elite. And it's to jump in front of that bus. Beep, beep. Yeah, I think it was Onslaught and Professor's Warning that they had last game. Now, provided we can hit a few lands, we can get something going here. You gotta do what's right for you. And I guess what's right for us is having a little study. This is not optimal. But I need to hit lands. Let's hit the freaking lands. Sold. Sold. All right, so how far back am I if I bounce the Leech Fanatic, which is kind of what I want to do? In theory, I could play the Cultivator into the Apprentice, and then I'm taking 5, potentially 6 in the air. That seems okay. Congratulations, FTK. I think that's the way I'd want to do it if I was going to do it, but I also feel like I've just been so much happier playing best of 3 that I'm probably going to continue doing that for now. Maybe we'll make, because like the thing is, I'd have to hit Mythic and then try the next month to do it. All right, so we need to not die to this iWitch nonsense. And there's not a whole lot I can do about it, although hitting land drops will help. We do have flyer removal spells, so I could Aether Helix back the Dragon Guard Elite and play it this turn and bounce the iWitch. I think I'm on board with that. doesn't really give me attacks. Do I need the cards more? Because I might. Because I need something to be able to deal with this too. So like if I top deck a land, we could play the Bookworm and then start drawing cards with Zemon in theory. Because like the only card that matters right now is their Pledge Mage. Okay, sure. This does mean we're facing lethal from a spell, and they've got a spell, so we're going to need to top deck a land or a spell, which I feel like we can do. So there's the land. We'll gain the life. That gives us another look next turn. But land is not good next turn, so we may need to upkeep Scry here. We'd need to kind of draw Mage Duel, which we can't, which is awkward. They're going to hit us for 4 and then have 3 coming in, which is exactly lethal. So I need a flyer of my own. I need a Frost Trickster. And I could scry to a Frost Trickster and play it. So we may need to do that. Their life total still doesn't really matter. I think Frost Trickster is my only out. Well, and the Mage Duel, but we know we're not drawing the Mage Duel. It's not my only out. Because there's also Master Symmetrist. That means I can't scry. Because I could draw the Master Symmetrist too. I could also draw, conceivably, card draw spell into something. But I don't think I can scry if there's 2 hits and one of them I couldn't cast. Right? Because we already know we're not drawing Biblioplex Assistant or Mage Duel. And Biblioplex Assistant would be one of the outs. So there's 2 outs on the bottom. But in the top 18, there's another 2. If I scry and the top card is the Master Symmetrist, I can't play it. So I think I have to take it, even though, sadly, it's not actually going to do anything for us here. Yeah, we did side in an anti-flyer card. And here, for funsies, we'll look just to see what we would have hit if we had bottomed this. But like the problem is if we'd seen the Master Symmetrist on top or seen it here, we're just in trouble. So I think we're going to lose this one, but I also think we're pretty well situated versus this stack. And I'm glad I brought in the anti-flyer cards. Yeah, that wasn't going to help us either, so this one kind of didn't matter. We might have, but they killed the Zemon, right? So presumably they could have killed that too. What did they kill the Zemon with? Rise of Extus? Yeah. It's like whatever card advantage engine we had played, they were going to get us with. So what do I have that's good against flyers? Because this Quandrix Pledge Mage is not actually looking great. If we're really scared of flyers, we could bring in the other Tangle Trap. I could also potentially splash for a Spectre or a Pillar Drop Warden, but I don't like the idea of splashing. I think I'd rather just have 2 of these. And frankly, I've sided 2 of these in every time. You think they'd have done that? I think they would have killed whatever my card advantage engine was. But maybe I respect the Soothsayer too much. Because other people certainly don't seem to want to interact with them. And looks all right. Hey, what's up, Dave? I think Tangle looks pretty good too. That's a fair line. That's a fair line. Boop. Thank you, Dave. I'm looking forward to going to see my folks and my sister and my nephew. I have never met my nephew, whose middle name is Travis. That is my name. My sister kind of got me there. Me too, Chief. Me too. We know that this is going to die into a +1/+1 counter and a 2/1 flyer, so I didn't really want to make the attack until I could tap it. That changes the math a little bit. But does make me happy we brought in the second Tangle Trap. She managed to not to have told people that she was going to name her son, the middle name of her son was going to be named after me, and not have it get leaked to me. And at a certain point, we're FaceTiming while she's in the hospital recovering, and she's like, "Do you want to see the birth certificate?" And I mean, I'm pretty blunt with my sister. I love my sister. She's 13 years younger than me. I took care of her when she was a kid. Like, to an extent, she's almost like my kid sister. So my answer was, I can't actually say exactly what I said to her, but I said, why? I said something like, "Why in the world would I want to see the birth certificate?" And she fell out laughing and then showed it to me anyway, and I was quite touched. Again, that's not quite what I said, but it is close to what I said. I don't think we have a choice. We got to swing at them. I think consent's kind of a big deal, at least in America right now. I don't know how it is in Canada. That's probably a joke I'd pass on. I think I'm supposed to play Professor Bear. Although maybe not. Maybe not. It's one less power, but if it gives them any thought about not attacking, that's probably good. Well, I'd kind of want to slam the reach guy on the turn we are planning to block it. The problem is I really don't want to block the dang thing. Because the Laureate isn't the issue, it is the quill the Laureate carries. Well, if I had attacked earlier, Chief, they just block with the Eye Witch and get the 2/1 flyer earlier, and we're dealing with a 5/5 Shadewing Laureate. But I could see the point of maybe attacking with the Reach Dude a couple times. As it turns out, it doesn't particularly matter what I play here. They just gonna try and race me. This would be me taking 5 next turn, and then presumably negating their other flyer. They're going to go up to 11, and we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on board. They can have the sciences. We don't want them to have this. I'd really like them to attack first, but may not. Oh, they did. That's good news. That's really good news. So if all they have are the 2 cards we know about, we win. because of this Aether Helix that I'm going to top deck. Boop. That's how you do it, boys and girls. That's how you do it. All right, YouTubers, thank you for watching. I will be on vacation, so there will be less YouTube videos. I will be returning. Let's see, this is my last stream, and I'll be back in a week. So as I'm recording this, it is Wednesday the 2nd of June, and I plan to stream again on Wednesday the 9th of June. So if you'd like to watch the stream live on June 9th or after, you can do so at twitch.tv/Semulin. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube, and let's do our Stream Raiders battle.